our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I do apologize for the late start. We are going to be talking about an issue that is gaining a lot of attention around the world. But before we dive into our topic for today, we have some special guests who are here to tell us about an event that's coming up this weekend. Jason, you can go ahead and bring them onto the stage. We have coming up this weekend the International Cultural Day 2022, and it's going to be massive fun. And we have with us today Anku and Basesh. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. I'm going to let you gentlemen introduce your full names because, see, I don't want to butcher anybody's name today. So go ahead and say your full name and your affiliation with the event that's coming up this weekend.
I'll go after you, Basesh.
Okay, I'm Reverend Dr. A.J. Vollmer, also called Basesh, which is the head scribe of the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah. And we're the ones that are putting on this international event in 4 countries. Of course, Nassau, Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, in the United States, out of Greenville, South Carolina, and in the United Kingdom in London.
All right, and we're all familiar with Anku, but Anku, you can still go ahead and introduce yourself, just in case somebody live under a rock and don't know who you are.
Sure. My name is Kahun Anku Sarah, also known as Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. III, and I am the head priest here in Nassau, Bahamas of the Holy Church of the Black Messiah. And we're going to be having some fun on Saturday here and around the world, and we want you to join us.
It sounds so. Tell me, first, before we get into what's actually going to happen on the weekend, tell me how this whole celebration of culture came about and why you're doing it in so many different countries. What is the importance or the significance of this event?
Well, the reality is that so many of us of the diaspora, those even of the continent, we have a place or a situation where we sometimes feel that we're not really connected, right? Like each of our individual struggles. If I'm in Trinidad, my struggles are different than Jamaica. Jamaica's different than Haiti. Haiti's different than Bahamas, and so forth, including the North America or the United States. But in fact, we are all connected globally. We are a global people. And somewhere along the line, we have forgotten that. So the purpose of International Culture Day is to reconnect us to, or via Black excellence, to our origins, who we are, what are we, how did we come about, And how do we get back to that idea of Black excellence? We talk about all the riots and rage and, the protests and the this and the that. But while all of these things are being talked about, who's talking about the success stories? Who's talking about the stories that we need to know so that we can have a balanced approach? Yes, we don't want to forget about the protests. We don't want to forget about the atrocities and our African Holocaust or the Mahafra that's been perpetuated against us. But we need to also be reminded of Black excellence. And this is the time of year to do it. And if we can reconnect each time we do it, it just grows the mentality of the people who attend.
So just out of curiosity, is the event happening in the various countries on the same day, or is it being spread out?
Well, Michelle, it's happening at the very same time, basically on the same day. So it's a synchronized effort. And because of Zoom, technology is now allowing us to tie the efforts of each of our respective countries into one effort. The first few years of this event, we would have it on the same day, but we would kind of have to catch up at the end of the day,
right,
and look at pictures from around the world. But today we're going to be, on Saturday, we're going to be really jumping from one country to the next, because it is an online experience as well. So we want to ask you to get tickets online as well. Go to journeyhomegroup.com. That's journeyhomegroup.com. You can get your tickets online. So even if you're not in one of these 4 countries, you can still be a part of this wonderful event.
Sounds amazing. So let's talk about what we can expect here in the Bahamas on Saturday. What all y'all have planned for us?
Man, so we have some of the traditional games that we may have grown up playing, or may not have grown up playing, like potato sack, egg and spoon. We're asking people to bring their marbles. We're asking people to bring their top. We're going to be having an award ceremony. We're going to be making sure that this idea of Black excellence is being rewarded. And so we have those who will be receiving a cultural icon award. We have John Canoe Colors. John Canoe is going to be kind of closing out the show. Before that, we have Bodine is going to be performing. Landlord, Paul and Tanya Hanna, the Jazz Cats, Novi. It's going to be a great day of music, as well as we have fashion shows. We have food demonstrations, and of course the booths. We want people to come out and support our booths, our vendors that are lined up and waiting to share their crafts and their food. And there's also going to be a time to just share. So we're going to be sharing with people on different topics around the world. And so that's just a taste of what's happening in the Bahamas, and in each country there'll be that and so much more.
Sounds amazing. Now tell us exactly where, what time, etc.
In Nassau, Bahamas, we will be at the Heritage Site on Arawaki. It's Fish Fry. Everybody calls it Fish Fry. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And so I don't think too many people are not aware of where it is. But if you're not aware, it's basically right outside of downtown. For any tourists that might be listening, just ask for the Fish Fry, and you'll see us down there, ready to have a fun day.
Any special activities for the kids?
Bouncy castles outside of the games. Yeah, they have the bouncy castle. BTC will be there with some amazing experiences as well. And so definitely the children, and of course food. It's gonna be food for the children. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely stuff.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I say it's definitely gonna be a day for everybody to enjoy something, right? The children will be there. Yeah, there'll be something for the children. There'll be something for the adults. There'll be something for the young at heart, and the elders as well. And so we definitely want to have everybody come out. Bring the whole family. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Load everybody up in the car. Tell your cousin and your auntie join you out there, because for some people, like if my family, this would be a family reunion because we don't hardly get to see each other anymore. So bring the whole family. Yeah, and spend an afternoon. This sounds great. Now, what about cost?
In Bahamas, it'll be $5 for adults. So anybody over 12, $2. for children. So we're trying to, minimize the cost as much as possible, get you in the gate to have fun. Of course, we'll have the COVID protocols in place, but we're trying to obviously cover costs and then also make it affordable for everybody. So just five or $2 respectively.
Now you can't beat that with a stick. So, what are you guys hoping will be the end result from putting on this activity? I know you talked at the beginning about the importance of reconnecting. What are you hoping people will be able to walk away from this experience, apart from the good time and the good food and the good music? What are you hoping will be the lasting impact from this event?
Well, from this event, we want first of all, this is not our first time doing it.
Right.
It's just that the last 2 years with COVID, it made us have to do a lot of it online.
Mm-hmm.
What this will allow us, or what our goal is that we take this from 4 countries, and perhaps by next year make it 8 countries. And with Liberia coming on board, Jamaica coming on board, and Ghana, and perhaps one more, right? If we can get it to 8 countries, and then you're spreading you're using the social media, you're using the internet, you're using Zoom to be able to spread marching orders, right? Normally you go to an event about international anything and you walk away, you had a good time, but what's the next step?
Right.
Okay, now that I've come and I've celebrated, what do I do? I'm a parent. How do I reach my child? What do I teach my child? How do I get involved in their PTA meetings? How do I get involved at the local Boys and Girls Club? How do I get involved in marching orders? What do we do now? Because everything that's oppressing Black people globally, it's a system. It's organized. Malcolm X, Haj Malik Shabazz, as he's known, he said, it's not that we're outnumbered, we're out organized. So we got to organize, and we have to organize in real time, and we have the medium to do it. This internet, if we really use the internet, our smartphones, and the medium that that's been made available to us, and we actually start to organize. I'm not talking about fight the power. No, not that. Fight the power by taking control, taking back power of your life, being involved in growing food, being involved in setting up your own schools, being involved in opening our own businesses, and learning to keep that Black dollar, which many people perhaps in the Caribbean are more used to, but people of the diaspora, you don't see it in the same way. We've got to take back this time, this opportunity, use it to take back who we are. And so that's our goal, to take back, reconnect, and then have some form of marching orders, what to do next.
That is really quite impressive, because I do remember, I'm old enough to remember a society that you just described, that where we once were, and it seems that our cultural identity is, increasingly becoming eroded to the point where, Uncle, I hear you talking about bring your marble. Some of these young people don't know what a marble is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
exactly. Yeah.
marble, what that is, top, what that is. You know what I mean? And yet these are things that we grew up on. And so something like this, I think, is important for them to see and understand, and like you said, reconnect to their cultural history and heritage, so that they can understand that we do have an identity. I think a lot of the problems that we're experiencing now is because a lot of these young kids just don't seem to have an identity personally or nationally. And they just, you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going, you're just floating, and so if this event can help to fix that problem, I say I'm all in. Great stuff, because God knows we need to have some kind of identity. So again, let's give everybody all of the details as to where, when, how much, all that kind of stuff. Let's give that.
So International Culture Day 2022 in Nassau, Bahamas. We will be at the Fish Fry. That's right there in Arawaki, the heritage site, not right outside of downtown, for those who may not know. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. we'll be there. We want to thank all of our local sponsors. There are many sponsors that have helped us to put this event on. You can check them out on www.journeyhomegroup.com, as well as our international sponsors, because this is an international event. And so we want to say thank you so much for all of the help and the assistance rendered to this wonderful event. Go to journeyhomegroup.com to check it out. Now, as far as the gate is concerned, it's only $5 for adults. That's 12 and up, and $2 for those under 12. COVID protocols will be enforced, so want to stay aware of that. And then also make sure bring a story, or especially the elders, bring some stories so we can learn some, because I'm going to be asking elders questions. I want to know some things that I didn't even know about when the elders were growing up. So we want to make it a time of community, fun, and make it something that can be memorable and just get the momentum going for years to come.
So this is going to be interactive, in other words.
It's definitely going to be interactive.
That's right.
Definitely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, listen, my grandmother is a storyteller in my family, and she's been gone. So we definitely need more storytellers to come forward, so that our young people can reconnect with their cultural history and understand that you are a part of something special. We Bahamians, we special, we have a lot to celebrate. We just don't know. And I'm happy that you guys are putting this on, so our younger folks can understand that you do have a cultural identity that you can be proud of, and you don't have to adopt anyone else's, because yours is just as good or better.
That's right. I love it.
Yes. And we also want to remind you that there's an online experience for only $15. So make sure you reach out to us for that online experience, because we're only going to see what's happening in the Bahamas. But there's London, there is South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, there's Trinidad and Tobago also. And so the online experience is going to be just as good. So reach out to us for that experience.
Give them the website information again.
You want to go to Journey Home Group, journeyhomegroup.com, journeyhomegroup.com. Just the way it sounds is how it's spelled. All one word.
Tell the little one she got her 15 minutes of fame in there too, hey? So
he's having a good time with me, and then all of a sudden now, you're on the air. Okay, come on, I want to be.
This is what they do. They say some people
don't
want to work with children and animals because you will always be upstage.
There he is.
What's this?
Hey, there he is. Hey, buddy.
Cutie.
This is why we're doing this event, Michelle. This is why we're doing this event for the children. For the children.
Right. Well, gentlemen, all the best. I hope you have a fantastic turnout, and looking forward to it. I know it's going to be a great celebration. Everybody come on out, support this event, come and learn about your cultural heritage, enjoy some good food, some great entertainment, and just good fellowship. And let's reconnect. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. All right.
Thank you so much, and you'll be blessed with everything you're doing.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to switch gears, because we are talking today about crashing the crypto party. See what I did there? Crypto crash. Crashing the crypto party. Is this the beginning of the end, or is this an opportunity in disguise? We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company, and my guests today are Lester Cox and C. Alan Johnson, and we are talking crashing the crypto party. Is this the beginning of the end for cryptocurrencies, or is this a blessing in disguise? This is what we're going to be talking about today, because just in case you haven't heard, I don't know how you would not have, cryptocurrencies have been plummeting, causing major concern for persons who have invested in that form of savings, investments, whatever you want to call it. And there are some critics who were quite frankly never fans of crypto who said, this is nothing but a bubble and this bubble has burst and now we're going to see the real fallout. And others are saying, no, this is just a bump in the road. And as it has bounced back before, it will bounce back again. So these two gentlemen who have joined me on the show today are very, very well versed in this whole idea of what is cryptocurrency and why it is or is not a good investment, and what this whole crash means for those who have invested their hard-earned money into cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a term given to digital currencies in which transactions are monitored by a decentralized system. And these invisible currencies have witnessed a serious slump in recent times, and experts suggest that the crypto sector plummeted after lending company Celsius froze accounts, withdrawals, and transfers. Global trading has gone through turmoil since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine war, and from stock markets to cryptocurrency exchanges, all of them have witnessed volatility and drastic swings. So it's not just crypto that's going through a difficult time. The stock market is also very, very erratic. The world's most popular crypto, Bitcoin, has slumped to below $20,000. And if you think, oh, that's not so bad, well, this is the lowest level it's been since December 2020, and it has now lost more than 70% of its value compared to the peak it reached just a few months ago last year. And so, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Why should people not be concerned about what they see happening with cryptocurrencies right now?
Hey, Michelle, it's great to be here with you, and also to be here with C. Alan Johnson. C. Alan, how you doing, bro?
I don't know if he can hear us, Lester, but you go ahead and start.
Right. Michelle, the crypto market is like any other market. Markets don't behave rationally, and people have to know that. You've got to think about crypto in the context of, I think, the future. Not I think. I know the future, because at the end of the day, something is happening in the world right now. This idea of the blockchain, it is revolutionizing finance. It is changing the world right now. You see companies like Walmart, Louis Vuitton, Renault. A lot of these companies are using the blockchain to do many things. Crypto is just an crypto is just an asset inside the blockchain, and we should not overreact to this, because all markets are dropping. We are entering now a totally global economy, and I don't think people should be worried about this. At the end of the day, this is the crypto industry is a new industry. It first gave birth in, I think, 2009, when this guy named Satoshi created Bitcoin, and so it normally takes anywhere from 20 to 30 years for new ideas to catch on. So we are just really at the very beginning of this crypto thing. So people should not panic, and people should not put their light bill money in crypto. The kind of money you should put in crypto is about 10% of your assets. And don't stress about it. Don't treat crypto as your pension asset. That's not a good idea.
All right, C. Alan, let's hear from you. What are your thoughts on this?
I think one of the things that I think some of the things that Lester said is absolutely correct. But I think one of the things that we have is that we have now merged a multiplicity of technologies and asset classes, you call them, or applications, and treat them all as one. So we have adopted the word crypto, and we now move crypto to mean everything. But when you begin to look at the blockchain, crypto, and the word crypto itself just means protected. It's a form of protection. But what you have is the word currency. Then you have the word tokens. Then you have a whole lot of different things that is built on this concept of the blockchain. The blockchain is here. It is not going anywhere. For me, I think one of the fallacies of the power of this new discovery of distributed ledger is the fact that cryptocurrencies itself has taken front and center stage of this new advanced technology, and it's distorted the potential of what it can be. I'm one, as one of the early users of Bitcoin and other type of currencies in the dark web, as you said, right up into the 2012 elections. In fact, I would tell people I have about 60 Bitcoin that I don't have the key for, because at the time when I parked them, they were less than $1. So it's almost like you utilize these things to get things done on the dark web, and you throw them in a drawer. I have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hard drives. And you don't really pay attention to it, because then, in 2011, it was insignificant. It was just a means of us keeping track of, not nefarious, but just between programmers, a means of doing assets. And now it has grown. It has grown up into this multi-trillion-dollar type environment. I am one that, from the cryptocurrency aspect, I think cryptocurrencies has been distorted from what it's supposed to be, and has become an asset class that's dependent on fiat. Whereas when we originally started to use the cryptocurrency type environment, it was based on an environment where I use it as a tag of my intellectual capital that I brought to that environment. So I perform a certain amount of services, and somebody else perform a different type of services, and we kind of gauge to say we have equity in the trading of our services based on the value we put. And so then fiat has entered into it. Now, for me, I am one, and I watch to see how it has evolved. I've one that adopted the position of the greater fool theory that cryptocurrency, I want the emphasis to be, has moved into that type of environment because it is now dominated by a select group of whales, a select group of mining pools, etc., that has distorted, I think, what the original intent is. Now, the problem also for me is that cryptocurrencies focuses on Bitcoin being the grandfather of all of them coming out. Then we have about 9,600 different type of cryptocurrencies. Most, if not all, have little value or scams. When I say I'm not talking about some of the utilities, I'm just talking of no value, where individuals just basically coming up with different things and saying we're using blockchain and they're putting it out there. So for me, this market is a proper correction and an opportunity for us to actually to begin to have a real conversation as to what Bitcoin is, what is the other type of other coins, and what is this technology actually capable for. If you look at the what is it? The banking I have the name, the banking for international settlements. The BIS has a paper out on this also. Just come. It'll be on the 26th. I've read a chapter of it. Is that they're bringing it home the fact that you have the CBDCs are now moving towards the very things that even Bitcoin is built on, the blockchain, the public ledger type environment. So I think the power of the potential is there for what is there, and anyone would be out of their mind to deny the power of the blockchain and what the utilities has been built on it. But for me, I think this is a good point of I use the expression, we're gonna now see who's swimming naked.
Well, Lester, you said in the beginning that, people don't need to overreact to this and, give it some time. But some people don't have the time because they've invested pretty much a lot and have lost a lot. And we're talking trillions of dollars that have been lost, because of this crash. So how do you say to someone, because thanks to, and we're going to talk about it a little later on in the show, the persons behind the crypto movement have been very strategic and very smart in their methods to make this more mainstream. And so we have big time celebrities like LeBron James and you see the
Tom Brady.
Sean Brady and Elon Musk and all these big time celebrities and millionaires, so they're like, okay, well, if they're into this, then this must be okay. So I'm going to take my little savings and I can see what I could do to try to make this thing grow. And, particularly those who invested in the last, I would say, 6 months, now so many of them have lost everything that they put in there. So how I hear you to say wait it out, but for some people they don't have that option. What do you say to a person like that?
Well, Michelle, there's nothing much I can say to them. What I can say to them in the future, when this market comes back, over the next 6 months is going to be a great time to buy into crypto again, because I think the market is going to bottom out. You see Bitcoin, as you mentioned earlier, Bitcoin lost 70% of its initial value from the 50,000. But you need to remember that people get in at different times. Some people like Cial and them, they got in at $10, $1. Some people got in at $2,500. I remember my first purchase of Bitcoin was at $6,500. So people are losing money here, but not all of us are losing money at the same level. But what people should remember is markets go up and down, and you should never, ever put all of your money in any one asset. It's just not smart. So my advice to people who will get into crypto again in the future is to do not put more than 10% of your assets in crypto. But I'd also tell them that you can make an incredible amount of money, even though, like C. Allen said, 99% of the crypto assets are just scams at the moment. But I can tell you, over time, you're going to see that changing. And it's going to change because we are like, I don't know if CLN remembers the .com era. When
I lived it.
Very good. When companies like Facebook and the rest of these companies, they were just clown shows because they had no business model. They had nothing to support them. They just had an idea. And this is where cryptocurrency is right now. And as the idea of cryptocurrency and the blockchain and simple ledgers, as they take hold in our society because of Web 3.0 and Web 4 and 5 that's coming, you're going to see when people launch coins, these coins are going to be backed by real businesses. And right now, coins are not really backed by real businesses. So these are just basic gambles. You're in Vegas right now, and you got to understand that.
Michelle, that is exactly, he hit it nail right on the head. Because what happens is the buy-in now is on these word currencies. They say they hold value, a hedge against inflation, all of these things. But you have currencies that's going to be backed by real world token. In fact, the whole world is going to be digitized in this whole new metaverse type environment. And even for our government, when we look at it, I see the way the talking heads within the government is going. We are so fascinated by just one. It's almost like you go to the beach and find a shell, and you ignore the entire ocean and just fixate it on this shell. And so the problem is not that cryptocurrency. The problem is all the other things that is built on the very platform for cryptocurrency is built. You have tokens, real world tokens. You're going to have tokenization of real estate, automobiles, of everything else. In fact, what blockchain does, it just basically allows you now to authenticate and have shared value, where you have consensus concerning any type of investment that is built and developed. And so blockchain is the future of the internet. When you talk about the data, the data economy, where individuals eventually, and it's something I've been advocating for almost 2 days, owning your own data, owning your own identity. All of these things will be blockchain type based environment. But going back to what Lester said, the tokenization and some other assets in this class of information, as I would hope many of these other things will be washed. And like I say, let those who survive, I think his expression was that crypto will separate the weak, the strong from the weak, where the weak will eat the bones of the strong will eat the bones of the weak. And so and I'm looking forward to it, because then we can get back to an environment that, I am a futurist and I am also a realist, and I want to get back to where the real opportunities are. So I want, where Lester says about investing, this is an opportunity where blockchain eliminates the needs for lawyers, for real estate agents, for accountants, for all these different things. So the value of where you was usually extracted out of going into these assets now allows you to come together collectively and avoid what, like in the Bahamas, you used to buy real estate. Now as a group, you automatically start at a 10% loss, 15% loss. So the fact that now that you could tokenize that real estate and eliminate all the closing costs, all of those different things, you are now in a better position of even just starting. And so when we begin to have a conversation on what exactly is this blockchain and what exactly is crypto, without necessarily the word currency, then we begin to see the power of this new dispensation we're moving in. Data will be tokenized or the blockchain, everything.
Right. And Michelle, just following up a little bit on what C. Allen said, we all know, the people in this game know that 99% of all crypto assets at the moment, they are just scams. If you put your money into a scam, you may get some back, you may not get some back. There was, I don't know if you guys remember this coin called Shiba. Yes. There was a coin called Shiba. Now, the Shiba was just really a joke when you think about it. But if you would put $10 in Shiba in 2021, you would have $800,000 today. Think about that for a moment now. And this is what can happen in the crypto space. I remember I met a guy who owned Ethereum at a conference at Burma called Polygon. At the time when I met him, Ethereum was trading at $12. A couple of months ago, Ethereum was trading at over 3,000. So when you think about what can happen in this space, it's just incredible. I'm not like a lot of people who believe that crypto assets are going to replace our traditional assets. Like I think we'll always need banks. Crypto assets will just be an alternative. It'll just be another means. It's like Uber and the taxis. Uber didn't replace the taxis. What Uber did was Uber created a new business. Just to go Airbnb, they do not. It doesn't replace the hotels. Airbnb creates a new market. So you see all the Bahamians now who are converting their homes to Airbnb. They're not hurting Bahama. They're not hurting Atlantis because this is just a new business. And what crypto is doing, and what the blockchain is doing, it is creating. It is what I like to call democratizing the ledger. So when the ledger was first invented, this idea of debit and credit, when we started really measuring wealth, we measured wealth in a ledger. Well, today now with the blockchain, what we have is we have a public ledger with private keys, as C. Allen said. And this is, I'm telling you, nobody quite knows how this is going to pan out, but I can tell you one thing. This is the most exciting time to be alive in history.
This ain't going anywhere. This is not going anywhere.
It depends how you define exciting, because some people, they don't want the kind of excitement they're experiencing right now.
They were chasing wealth. See, yes.
Let me introduce this clip. Well, go ahead. Make the point. Make the point.
They were chasing instant wealth, and that's what drew.
See, that's the thing, because you hear what Lester said. Oh, this started at $12,000 and today it's worth $8,000. So you got some people there who thinking, what? Okay, I could get rich quick through this. And many of them have been sucked into this whole concept, not fully understanding how this works. And as a result, today, they're not liking the excitement that they're experiencing right now, because they're experiencing some excitement. It's just in a negative way. There's an old saying that goes, what goes up must come down. And it seems as of late to have proven to be true when it comes to the cryptocurrency world. We talked about how its value has hemorrhaged trillions, not millions, not billions, trillions of dollars have been hemorrhaged. And it's not just the crypto geeks whose dreams have been shattered in this crash, but you're talking many moms and dads, investors who fell for that, hype of the currency going, mainstream to the point where you should, you can get rich quick from this. And there are some millionaires who have, in fact, become paupers as a result of this crash. And yet, true cryptocurrency believers like yourselves are saying, don't worry, the good times will return. Well,
right, but Michelle, I'm not.
Hold on, I give you a moment.
Sorry, my bad.
In this clip by Australia's 60 Minutes, they asked the question, who's brave enough to believe and wait to see if the good times will in fact return? Check this out.
Crypto obviously right now getting crushed.
Erasing more than $200 billion from the entire
investors getting jolted by volatility rippling through the crypto world.
They could lose it all.
And I don't know what in the world's going on, so I'm out no mas.
If cryptocurrency was a casino, Sergei Sergenko would be one of its high rollers. The Russian-born millionaire is a self-confessed cryptomaniac who truly did hit the jackpot.
I got everything. I got literally the world in my palm of my hand. And then all of a sudden you go, okay, there you go, whoop, the life and the market slaps you in the face.
From humble beginnings, Sergei took out a loan to become one of the early investors in Bitcoin. It was a risky gamble that allowed him to trade his way to what he says was then a $100 million fortune.
What a difference a year makes, Sergei.
Tell me about it, man.
How's your portfolio looking now compared to a year ago?
A lot slimmer. But, in my particular case, I've seen it all before.
Give me an idea. How much slimmer are we talking?
Like, put it this way. Like, there was a week in February that I was a billionaire on paper, right? Well, let's say, like, if we say, I don't know, a third of what it was or something like that.
I'm going to do some quick maths. You've lost $600 million.
on paper. But, like I do believe with the whole of my heart that we're still at the very start of the journey.
For diehards like Sergey, crypto remains on course to be the very future of money. But right now, for some, that promise is on very shaky foundations.
There's been a noticeable loss of confidence in the market. Everyone's wondering what the next big disaster is going to be, what's going to take prices down further, and so on. It's not an investment strategy. It's not the future of money. It's sort of a game of hot potato, and you could be the loser.
David Gerard wouldn't invest in digital currency if you paid him. An Aussie living in London, he's made a name for himself as a hard-boiled crypto skeptic and author who sees the entire industry as a dangerous cult.
Everyone loves the siren call of a number going up and they think, here's my chance. But get-rich-quick schemes never work. You can't get rich for free. You'd think that was obvious, but people keep hoping that there's a way out and that they'll get ahead. But it's always a false hope, and some people do great, but more people get absolutely wrecked.
The reasons for the crash are complex. Rising inflation and hikes in interest rates, war in Ukraine, and crypto's relationship with a struggling stock market are all factors that have conspired to sap confidence. Cryptocurrencies, as it turns out, are a pretty ineffective hedge against inflation and not much of a safe haven in uncertain times.
Is this crash the beginning of the end for cryptocurrency?
I think it's the middle of the end for cryptocurrency. I think the air went out of crypto. It's been leaking out over the last several months. This crash has really brought it home to people that, actually the music's going to stop sometime. The trouble with crypto is it's literally an unregulated market. Like, there's a few regulated exchanges in proper jurisdictions like US, UK, Australia. The companies based there do have people looking at them, but the vast majority of trading is in unregulated offshore casinos. I would just call them casinos. It's like betting on horses. You can make money betting on horses, but that doesn't make horses an investment. Some people are making a fortune in crypto. You can totally make a fortune in crypto. You have to be a better shark than the sharks who built the shark pool, because they will skin you and eat you.
All right, gentlemen, how do you respond to that?
Good advice.
Well, see, Alan thinks it's good advice, but I actually think it's terrible advice. The guy should not be talking because he doesn't know what he's saying, because he doesn't understand something that's called network effects. So all wealth is created out of thin air. If you look at the most valuable companies right now, if you go on the NASDAQ and you look at the most valuable companies right now, you'll find the Apples, you'll find the Amazons, you'll find the Microsofts, you'll find the Googles. These companies are valuable because they are into the digital future. So anybody who tells you that crypto is dead, they don't know what they're talking about. Now he can make a legitimate case that there's a problem with Bitcoin, because initially when Bitcoin was started, the idea behind Bitcoin was really that, okay, this could be a hedge, this could be a store of wealth, this could be how we make financial transactions in the future. It turned out that Bitcoin, the technology behind Bitcoin, is really too slow to be real world. So we're still trying to figure out what's going to happen with Bitcoin. But if you look at Ethereum, for instance, which is the second largest coin in the world, Ethereum got real world. That's a real world business. You can go to Ethereum, you can establish your own coin and really do something with your family, do something with your friends, do something with other investors in a tokenized and secure environment. So really, you should be very careful listening to guys like him. I won't listen to him, because let me tell you something. The blockchain and this idea of a distributed ledger, this is like pre-internet. And anybody who thinks the internet is not changing the world, they just not in the world. And so you've got to be very careful. But you also got to know, at this particular time in human history, being in crypto is like being in a casino. You've got to know that, and that's because the The business is still evolving. We're still trying to figure out how to do things.
But see, Lester is absolutely correct. Being in crypto, this is the new dispensation. That clip dealt directly and exclusively with cryptocurrency.
Correct.
See, that's the problem. And so what I'm simply saying is that I'm afraid that when we begin using the word like crypto or digital assets and these things, people who are in their arrogance of ignorance actually believe everything is one and the same. They are not. You know, for me, cryptocurrency, unless it's backed by real world, tangible, non-depreciative assets, and that, like, nothing is 100%, is dead. Keyword, cryptocurrency. Crypto is alive. In fact, I would argue that the digital assets bill in the Bahamas can add within 5 years $10 billion, $10 to $20 billion to the Bahamas GDP directly in the hands of Bahamians when incorporated into the various different economic models that we often hear these governments scream: blue economy, green economy, orange economy, ocean economy, circle economy, aquamarine economy, digital economy, knowledge economy, conceptual economy. All of these are words you've heard in the Bahamas in the last 12 months. But the problem is we're good at Google words and never understanding the complete infrastructural aspect, the ecosystem for where these things thrive. Crypto is but one of the new ecosystems, just like the internet, that has just came into existence, blockchain. But not to confuse the currency aspect of crypto with what is possible on the blockchain, on revolutionizing the Bahamas economy and the world. That's the part I'm trying to separate. I'm saying to you, I'm not a believer in cryptocurrency at this time. I've not been convinced.
Yeah, but see, Alan, let me ask you though, and I want you to think about this. You're the computer expert here. If you look at Bitcoin, for instance, you and Guy Graham and the rest of them was dealing with Bitcoin when it was around $30, right? Bitcoin today is around 20,000, and it went up at one point to 50,000. Now that 50,000 had no basis in reality at all. But I would also say though that if you just look at the wallets and the network effect of Bitcoin, that asset could never go to zero.
No, it could, because you know why? There's nothing tangible. Oh, let me say, you make an argument concerning the digital economies.
Right.
Digitalization, understand. I've been in this for 43 years, and before most people knew what technology, what computers was. I was blessed to be at IBM before the first desktop was released. So
we commend you for that.
You know, I'm simply saying it's this: I've lived in the metaverse and all these multiverses that people are talking about. But here's the point I say to you: what happens is we often confuse vehicles for highways, and that's the problem I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is, when you look at technology, and this is the part where we have learned here in the Bahamas more specifically, money and money don't make money. Money and ideas make money, because ideas multiply money. And so my question is that where is the idea that is convertible in cryptocurrency, not in tokenizations, not in any of the other blockchain? And so what I'm saying to you is, I don't want to, for me, the cryptocurrency is but a shell on the beach of possibilities for people who want it. I tell people, if you want to get into crypto and you want to get into tokenization and blockchain, for you amateurs that have no idea of investment, that never invested in anything in your life, stay in the shallow water. Stay away from currencies.
That's right. Stay away from it.
Yeah, and go find yourself. Stay in the low tide and go find
the money under the mattress.
Tokens. Find some tokenized assets that is secured and more safe for you.
Okay, let's let Lester respond to that.
Yeah, well, you know, I am a little bit more optimistic than C. Allen. I would tell people, I would tell amateurs who want to get into the space, you're always going to be safe with Bitcoin. You're always going to be safe with Ethereum. You're going to be okay with Ripple. You're going to be okay with Litecoin. You're going to be okay with Cardano. So there are a lot of coins that you're going to be okay with. But just don't don't put all your assets into cryptocurrency. But I'll advise the bolder set of people is to start your own coin. That is the way to go, to start your own coin and build that coin around an idea. So
okay.
we need a lot of Airbnb.
I want you to explain to us because I got to take a break, but I want you to explain to us on the other side of the break how that works, because I know you started your own coin, and I trying to figure, okay, so what would that mean? Like, how does that benefit you? How do you make that work for you? So we just stick a pin in that thought. We're going to take this quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about that and more on the other side. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, along with my guest today, Lester Cox and C. Alan Johnson. We're talking crashing the crypto party. Is this the beginning of the end, or is this an opportunity in disguise? The telephone numbers to call if you want to join in on this discussion are 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. That is 326-0272, or our WhatsApp line if you want to send us a message. Do not call the WhatsApp line. Message us at 824-9952, 824-9952. Now, before I let Lester jump back in talking about his coin, I want to read an excerpt from an article that appeared in the Wall Street Journal. It says, the crypto party is over. The cryptocurrency industry was built on swagger, enthusiasm, and optimism. All three of these are in short supply these days as losses and layoffs mount. It continues. On Super Bowl Sunday, a Crypto.com ad featuring billionaire LeBron James lit up millions of American TVs. If you want to make history, you got to call your own shots, said Mr. James. In the 30-second spot for the popular cryptocurrency trading platform, the words that splashed across the screen were, excuse me, as the commercial ended, fortune favors the brave. Last week, excuse me, let me just take a quick swig of water. All of a sudden, I tickle the throat. Last week, Crypto.com laid off 5% of its workforce, as its chief executive officer said on Twitter that the company was making difficult and necessary decisions. The cryptocurrency industry was built in part on swagger, enthusiasm, and optimism. And Bitcoin backers' rallying cry to rebuff skeptics was, have fun staying poor. Those who didn't buy in were letting the future pass them by. At times, crypto has looked like a combination of Beanie Babies, .com stocks, and the Velvet Underground. It's manic, it is money, and all the cool people are into it. It has also shared characteristics with other bubbles throughout history, marked by speculation bordering on delusion, disregard, and disrespect for risk and greed. Now, with markets sliding and inflation plaguing the global economy, I'm still reading from this article, cryptocurrencies have been among the first assets sold. Since Bitcoin hit an all-time high in November, roughly $2 trillion of cryptocurrency value, more than 2/3 of all the crypto that existed, has been erased. Bitcoin itself has plunged to 21,206, roughly 62% of all of its all-time high of 67,802.30. And crypto exchanges are bleeding users. Crypto companies are laying off workers, with at least one contemplating restructuring. And so now, in the midst of all of this madness, Lester is saying, go start your own coin.
I agree.
Okay, please explain that to us. Make it make sense.
See?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lester.
Yeah, Michelle, you said swagger, enthusiasm, and optimism, right?
Right.
Isn't that how the world was built? Isn't that how Henry Ford, Bill Gates, this guy named Jeff Bezos, every player, this is how things happen. The problem is when people jump on these markets trying to get rich overnight, this is when you have a problem. And what happened was, because the crypto space is 24 hours, 24/7, and it's global, anyone who now have $5 could think they could be a crypto millionaire, and that is a problem, and that's going to work itself out over time. But the real point of this crypto thing and the blockchain and what's happening in the world is the fact that a Michelle Malcolm or a C. Allen or a Bahamas Sovereign Wealth Fund could go to any blockchain, could go to the Ethereum blockchain and create a coin and invite investors to come and invest in that coin. This is what makes decentralized finance so exciting.
But explain how that works to us, please, Lester, because somebody who is not educated in all of this will be listening to this conversation. You're telling me that you're going to create this coin and then go to an investor and say, come and back my coin. Your coin isn't backed by anything. Your coin. So what makes your coin attractive for me as an investor to put my money into? Why should I do that?
Well, let me tell you. So, unlike coins like Dogecoin and Shitcoin and some of these other really stupid coins, they are not backed by anything. But my coin is backed by an idea, which is city government. And what we are saying is that there are millions of people all over the world from diaspora countries. So the Bahamas, we've got 25% of our population in another country. I'm saying that population that's in the Bahamas, that's living in the United States, they probably got a lot of assets that they can come back and invest in the Bahamas. Why can't they come and have US dollar bank accounts in the Bahamas? What my coin is going to do is my coin is going to allow people in the diaspora to be in an offshore online space where they can invest in places like the Bahamas, where we have higher interest rates than in America. Where you can have associations where, so if you want to form a Bahamian company, it will cost you $300 a year. But really, in the digital space, that company should should only cost you like $5-6 a year. And we're saying that New Providence City, we're going to do stuff like that. We're going to let you have offshore wallets. So this is a real business. This is not just some guys jiving around. And I'm saying that.
I'm saying, in essence, you're asking them to put their money into a concept?
Correct.
No, but that's what it is.
That's what every business is.
No, it is. That's what remember I said ideas is what makes money. Remember I said to you,
okay,
my argument is that, here's my argument against cryptocurrency. I want people to pay emphasis on that word currency.
Mm-hmm.
When we first bought into Bitcoin, our idea was that it was to replace fiat.
Correct.
The problem is Bitcoin became dependent upon fiat for its value as opposed to the intellectual capital and thing. Remember I said to you, when we first used to use Bitcoin on the dark web, I provided intellectual capital, which was my, for lack of a better word, hacking abilities into certain type of systems, and it had a certain value. So we used that to track my value. We gave it a certain amount of Bitcoins. And another guy had a certain quality in providing denial of services. And so, since we wanted to be able to trade, we used it as a barter system to track where the assets was moving around. So that was built on intellectual capital. It is when people start saying, "I'm going to put the cash," and it caught on that, hey, I could just create this nothingness for the cash, is where the contaminant for me entered into the Bitcoin type environment. Now let's go back to what Lester said. You have the Bahamas is the boating capital of the world, believe it or not, for yachts. You have some young person right now that has the inability to go anywhere and for $1 million and get a loan for a yacht. He can now put together a business plan and say issue 200 tokens just for the sake of argument, 5,000 for each tokens, just for quick numbers. And he would say, this is how this yacht is now tokenized, and this is how we will generate revenue, renting, leasing, maintenance, all these different things. Put it all in the business plan. He has tokenized this asset. This is a tangible asset. So now these individuals will now share in the revenues from this. Now, unlike a conventional bank loan, where the bank plays a pimp game, you get $1 million, $10,000 is due in 30 days, and you're working to make the $10,000, which goes to the bank. These revenues now, where you would normally pay interest because there is none, as well as the revenue from this minus maintenance and support of this vehicle, is now shared among those individuals that actually owns these tokens. And should they actually pool the profits rather than taking it out and add another yacht and another yacht, you can see how this coin actually continues to grow in value. This is the basis of the bill. This is like replacing the share type assets, except when you give the person the shares, you had no control, no vote, no nothing, a small group of people. Now you have a collective as part of this blockchain, now voting exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, how you're going to dispose of assets and whatever else. It requires a group consensus. So what it does now, if you actually look at this blockchain, it gives thousands of Bahamians access to the global market based on just being able to develop an idea, a concept for business, for them now to go into the marketplace. That's the strength of the of this whole blockchain aspect. And so when we talk as a country, and the problem is now is that we have not cleared the deck on what these words mean. And so, like in the Bahamas, we use the word digital assets, and we have it now meaning cryptocurrency. It does. Yes, digital assets is, and I made a note of this from one of my posts. Digital assets is documents, audio, video, images, graphics, logos, slide, presentation, spreadsheet, websites. All of these things are digital assets. Notice they're not cryptocurrencies. And so the problem is that we have this convolution and conflation of what digital assets is, what blockchain is, what tokenization is, what all of these things, cryptocurrencies are, what CDBCs, the central bank depository coins are. And so we have all thrown these all into the swamp, and no one can seem to differentiate what the direction has to go. I'm simply saying exactly what Lester said. You could create virtual cities. Lester's talking about creating a metaverse. He's way ahead of the game in creating a metaverse so that you can live in this metaverse. He's taken essentially the brand of the Bahamas, ripped out Estonia, their concept of digital existence, citizenship. He's combined a lot of different things in this coin. If you begin to examine his concept, he's basically saying virtualize the Bahamas. I mean, we could create a metaverse right now. In fact,
and see, Alan, and if we grew up and started to think about our country like that, look here, do you know that last year almost $2 billion in real estate was sold in this country? And just think about where that is financed. That's not foreign direct investment. What that is that somebody in Miami, New York, London, they're getting a loan from some pension fund or some bank in another jurisdiction, and they come into the Bahamas as investors. Man, we should be hip to that game by now.
Right, but see, and here's the thing about this, Michelle. Believe it or not, the Bahamas government and the ministers of finance and the junior ministers, Mr. Halkitis, they need to have a real talk on the way the Bahamas economy is shaped, because the borders that exist and the central bank that exists is only in the minds of the indoctrinated Bahamian. And that's where the problem, and this is where we have been kept in this cage that has allowed us to become servants rather than owners. You're talking about an opportunity now of owning the Bahamas. And so this whole supposedly digital assets bill is seeking to curtail Bahamians as opposed to empower them to own the world. We can actually now, literally from our desktop, look at another part of the world, jump in Jamaica. Remember we said about tourism, product, and hospitality. This gives Bahamians the opportunity to convert their ideas into digital tokens, I didn't say currency, or to digitize an environment in another country and own and manage it from the Bahamas. And so this is where I say that we are at the cups of one of the most digitally prepared countries in the world. The problem is that I am becoming very, very afraid, having listened to Parliament for the budget debate, that I may have to look forward to the next administration to do what is necessary, if it is even still possible, because I've heard hours of Googled information, and mind you, nothing against the MPs, because I knew many of them before, and they would never discuss technology with me now, even though they're experts. Now, let me say this also. I've known many of the previous administration before they became experts in technology for 4.5 years, that now will most likely call me to fix their computers. So,
oh my goodness.
But they were building a country when they couldn't control the device in their hand beyond touching the screen. And so this is when we hear the words ecosystem. And you have to understand the world, the earth as we know it, is an ecosystem. In fact, we talk about destroying the ecosystem we live in. So it isn't just a law, it is creating an ecosystem for multitudes and multiplexity of things to exist in. So when you say we're creating a green economy, a digital economy, these are an ecosystem. It isn't where you're just using technology. It is where you can plant seeds and things grow and maintain. Just like how you say we have the oceans, the fish, the birds, the people, the cats, all these things exist in this ecosystem called the earth. When you say you're going to create a green ecosystem in the Bahamas, then we should be able to see how is the things going to plant and grow. And so what I'm saying to you, going back to this blockchain, the blockchain is a huge opportunity crypto is a huge opportunity if we look beyond the hype of the currency. And I'm saying to you, currency, just like any speculative investments, just like just like you said, the digital bubble and the real estate bubble and everything, it is meant for strong swimmers. When you say sharks and stuff, stay close to the shore so you don't get eat up.
But here's the thing, though, gentlemen, because you're asking our government to open its mind, be more visionary, embrace this as opposed to not, going deep enough. But we do have an example of a government that has done that is now in trouble because El Salvador went all in on Bitcoin.
With currency. I didn't say for us to go into currency.
I know, but let me finish. Even becoming the first country to make it legal tender, and now the cryptocurrency's value is plummeting, and the country is at risk of default. So let's play this clip, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
It was the Bitcoin bash heard round the world. El Salvador hailed Bitcoin as its future.
Is the evolution of humankind. So we're going there.
Last year, the country's president, Nayib Bukele, declared the cryptocurrency legal tender and promised to reimagine his country around the cash you can't hold.
We had some attacks of the opposition. Believe it or not, we have an opposition.
The government investing some 105 million taxpayer dollars. But tonight, as crypto crashes, the Central American country's investment is now worth roughly half what it paid, losing some $40 million in value.
President Nayib Bukele has really tethered his political fate to this nationwide crypto experiment, so he's going to try to do whatever he can to make this work.
Yet, as the value fell, Bukele continued to invest, engaging in a practice known as buying the dip, buying more crypto as the price dropped. Financial experts say the International Monetary Fund's relationship with El Salvador soured after they warned them to ditch Bitcoin. As a result, the country losing out on a $1.3 billion bailout.
Is this country going to default?
I mean, that's the question that everybody has right now. They really needed that loan from the IMF. The IMF is not playing ball because they think that this Bitcoin experiment is a bad idea.
This week, El Salvador's finance minister dismissed concerns over the crash. In a televised press conference, he said the nation has not lost going all in on Bitcoin.
40 millones no representa ni el 0,5% quizá de nuestro presupuesto general de la nación.
As of Tuesday, a single Bitcoin is worth around $22,000. The country owns more than 2,300 units.
¿Toman Bitcoin? No. Okay.
On the streets of El Salvador,
every single store that we've asked, no one's accepting Bitcoin.
The crypto market's scarce, with many vendors steering clear. In April, NBC's Gotti Schwartz documented the challenges, finding confused customers, vendors, and glitchy transactions.
I still have zero money in this account.
But occasional success.
Oh, there we go. Okay, this is the best transaction we've had so far.
Despite all this, Bukele doubled down last November, announcing a proposed city in the southern coast of the country, funded by Bitcoin, and powered by a volcano, to be known as Bitcoin City.
And it's going to include everything: residential areas, commercial areas, services, museums, entertainment, bars, restaurants.
The question now is whether this modeled city of gold gleams bright or darkens El Salvador's financial future.
So that is the kind of danger that you can face as a nation when you put all your eggs in one basket. How do you guys respond to that clip, to that report?
That's good and bad. I see opportunities in his failures. One, the energy dependency of Bitcoin in its need to survive. And so from a city economic type environment, the Bitcoin city, if modified, can become a huge boom for the mere fact that Bitcoin is an energy dependent, carbon consuming hog. It's an energy hog. And so as Bitcoin develops multiple, and I'm hoping that it does, use beyond the currency aspect of what it is, that that blockchain itself become a means of a transfer protocol. But if he looks at the city that he's building, for the fact that he has an energy net zero type energy environment, I think it is viable if he expand beyond Bitcoin and move it into the blockchain, because that within itself, it becomes a city of one of computing. In fact, it's something that I envision for the Bahamas. We have this concept, somebody called a crypto isle, that not the one that we have, but a crypto island type environment, is that we have the ability to generate a net zero type environment for the blockchain processing, data economy, where we provide constitutional data privacy, constitutional data protection, and constitutional data sovereignty, a combination of these different type environment. But again, you have to move away from, and I keep repeating this, we have to remove away from the word currency and look at the utility of what Bitcoin and other blockchain-based type environments are. And so and again, I say cryptocurrencies aren't for the shads, it's for the sharks. And
all right,
so
let's let Lester jump in. Lester, what are your thoughts?
On El Salvador?
And what C. Allen just said.
Yeah, unlike Seattle, I mean, I'm really optimistic about this whole cryptocurrency idea, because it's a way to fundamentally raise money in a different way. If El Salvador, in their case, I think it was strange that they would go, all in on Bitcoin like that. They could have gone into Ripple. They could have done any number of things. They could have turned the whole country into a coin itself, right? I mean, if you're going to go all in on $105 million, why don't you just tokenize your whole country? That would have been much better than just going in on Bitcoin. I don't know what price they bought Bitcoin at, but I can tell anybody who is into a volatile market like cryptocurrency, what we do is we buy on the dips, right? We sell on the ups, and then we hold on the shoulders. This is not a game for people who if you're not a gambler, you shouldn't be in this space. And you shouldn't be gambling. You shouldn't be gambling a country's asset like that. Now I can tell you what some other countries do when they. So a major country like China, one of the things that they do is they buy a lot of U.S. dollars, and then they hedge that U.S. dollar based on gold. So they create a dynamic situation where they can never lose. So if the dollar goes down, gold goes up. When gold goes down, the dollar goes up. So their currency is dynamic. And if the guy at El Salvador had done something like that, I think he's visionary, but he's just chosen the wrong asset.
If he had bought into Ethereum,
right?
And the fact that they're moving now to proof of stake from proof of work, where it requires computational power, and he has it right there, they probably would have retired their national debt.
No question about it. And even if they had lost money in Ethereum, they still would create a new ecosystem in their country.
Yes.
And that is the point. Correct. That's the point of these things. Michelle, what the blockchain is able to do. 4 things happening in the world now that nobody can deny. 4 trends happening in the world right now. Nobody trusts each other, right? Everything is being turned into data. See, Alan talks about it all the time. He calls data the new oil, right? But I mean, data is more expensive than oil. Data is better than oil. You've got cash and credit. It's everywhere. The world is awash in cash. It's too much cash. That's why we need inflation. And then finally, the truth is nobody knows what's going to happen right now. The president of the United States, nobody knows what's going to happen. The world is so global now, right? And so you just need to be smart. You need alternative investments like crypto.
Let me ask you guys something.
You can spot a liar when they say, "I know what's going to happen."
Yeah. Let me ask you guys something. Pastor Miles always used to say, whenever we go through a recession or a crash or whatever, he always used to say, "No money has left the earth." And so, who's benefiting from this crash? Because somebody benefiting. Who's benefiting from this crash?
Well, we know benefiting from the crash.
Who?
The people who the Fed giving the money to. The Fed is not giving the money to poor people. The Fed is giving the money to the richest people in the world. And so the billionaires and the top companies are profiting from all this cash that's out there. And now to save the day, we have to inflate this wealth away. Otherwise, you're gonna see some real problems. Inflation is needed right now.
You're gonna see global poverty. Let me say something. You're gonna see global poverty like you've never seen in the history of the earth. And even here in the Bahamas, we're already suffering from energy poverty. and some other things that we would not talk about because we have a lot of talking heads that talk about the issues rather than to the issues. And so, as it looks at our economy, what has been devastated by first by Dorian having this tremendous impact, and then by COVID. Look at Grand Bahama and Abaco. Literally speaking, the government talk about $7 billion worth of losses, but they don't talk about the infrastructure. I use an example. If I own a restaurant and my GDP in my restaurant from the salaries and profit I make is $1 million a year, and my restaurant burns down, I don't say I lose just my GDP, because unless the only way for me to get that GDP back is to rebuild the restaurant. So not only have I lost the $1 million in the GDP, I've lost a $1 million restaurant that generated that $1 million a year GDP.
Yep.
So from an infrastructural environment, the Bahamas needed influx, an immediate influx over the next 10 years of literally about $20 billion. We don't have that type of environment unless we actually look at a means of truly digitizing this economy and jumping ahead in the global economy, because there is trends that you can see that the world is digitizing. Things that what is happening now, individuals, like I can tell you the first time the word metaverse was mentioned in the Bahamas was on Jeffrey Lloyd Real Talk Show in 2006. The tape can play it. Jeffrey Lloyd and I talk about the metaverse. Facebook was about 2 to 3 years old. We talked about the multiverse and all of these different things that we talked about. And so I'm simply saying is there are individuals, not just in the Bahamas, 25% of our population is involved in designing the future. The problem is there's no space for us in this country. And so the problem is that because we have this this concept, I don't remember the word, it's a word meaning that where instantly you know all things, and then after you elected, there's another disease where you forget everything, or you actually believe that you have. And so, but what it is that we now must look for a way to diversify the economy while digitizing it to keep pace with the world, or we will be part of that digital divide that, in spite of us being the most digitally prepared country in the world, we might as well be like those countries without the infrastructure due to the laggedness of leadership and the arrogance of ignorance as to what technology is. Now, let me say this. The Bahamas is the most digitally prepared country in the world, but technology is about to have what is called a fundamental shift in technology. And the basis for which we can now claim to be the most digitally prepared country in the world, and has been for the last 27 years, will no longer exist in about 4 years unless we enhance what we accidentally acquired about 30 to 40 years ago. And so the problem is that if you was to have a real conversation with the leadership of the Bahamas about Bitcoin, in spite of us being a digital assets jurisdiction that be bragging in the world, if we was to have a conversation concerning carbon credits, which is another opportunity to put on the blockchain, if we can actually have a real conversation of where we are and where we want to be, if you was to go to the 39 opposition and I'd throw in the 16 and take them out of the comfort zone of whispers in the airs where their PSs or other people write their speech, and have a real conversation as what has to do, you would find out that they don't know. The problem they ignore is the collective intelligence of all of us as a nation is superior to just some of us. And so what we have is government that governs for the 25%. And so 75% of us every 5 years is excluded from what is necessary for us to advance. It only takes a few of us, who have the right idea. Remember, billions of people in the world, but there was only a small group of people that did Facebook, a small group of people that did Skylink, a small group of people that did these other billion-dollar companies. But look at the impact that they had on the United States growth and development and everything else. And so the problem is that we have leadership, once elected, believe that they are selected, and once appointed, believe that they are anointed. And so, so what you have now is a environment, and Lester and I listened to his show with him, Graham Redford, and others. We are now in a new dispensation. It's almost as if though you could see the peak of the sun coming up, and we must get ourselves together and understanding what is coming over the horizon, so that we could be active participant in it before the sun hit high noon. Because once the sun set, we are out of the game.
All right. On that note, let's take a pause. We have to play our final commercial break. On the other side, we're going to continue this conversation and look a little deeper into the real human cost of what we see happening around the world with cryptocurrencies and the crash, and talk more about what could be, as C. Allen and both C. Allen and Lester just gave us a glimpse of what could be. We're going to talk more on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here, along with C. Allen Johnson and Lester Cox. We're talking today crashing the cryptocurrency party. Is this the beginning of the end, or is this an opportunity in disguise? The telephone numbers to call if you'd like to get in on the discussion: 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, or the WhatsApp number if you want to send us a message, 824-9952, 824-9952. I want to read a couple of comments here from our Facebook viewers. Miko says, they sell in air, no product or service, since gold does not back currency anymore. The idea scheme is to create other forms of currency in hopes that it picks up backing, but no one is thinking that all this can be lost with a switch. It's not tangible. It distracts the average man from tangible investment like land, physical businesses for a gamble. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on that comment?
I agree. I agree with them. I mean that's essentially what it is. But it's not always going to be that way. Eventually, it's going to be backed by serious things, and you're starting to see it. You're starting to see. Look here. I think Bitcoin is a huge problem in the crypto space. That's why I'm no longer in Bitcoin. I don't see any utility in Bitcoin. I'm more into Ethereum. And I think you're going to start to see coins, like C. Allen said, you're going to start to see coins that's backed by something. And this is just, it's going to be a natural evolution. What we should also remember is that stocks and shares, we have crashes every 7 years in the stock market. So people should not think that General Motors is going to be around forever, or Apple, or any of these companies. All these companies are going to go out of business. That's the nature of business.
But Michelle, let me also say that for individuals who believe in fiat exists, but with the power of might, the war machinery. One time the U.S. dollar was backed by gold; it's now backed by oil, which is now being pushed. And so when we talk about this global warming and climate change and everything, you're basically talking about disrupting the economics of the world. So the Bahamas.
Let me stop you. The U.S. dollar is not backed by anything.
No, that's what I'm saying to you. It's backed by the power of war.
Oh, all right.
Able to go and pick up some resources. So it's almost backed by in essence, by simply saying the biggest guy in the biggest room could go and take whatever they want to give you whatever you supposedly expect. And so what is happening now, we are now moving into what is called the knowledge-based economy, the digital environment, where people themselves is becoming the value. Let's ask yourself, whoever thought that Facebook and Google and the rest of them would make money of you? A lot of people keep thinking that they don't realize that they are the product on social media. They are the product. They thinking that social media is the product. No, you are the product. And so when you begin to have this so-called digitization and taking ownership using the blockchain of who you are, where you will own your information. You know how they say the NFT is unique, nothing else exists except for you, where you even begin to own your DNA. And so the data economy and these variations of these things that we talk about now becomes where power of the people is being returning. It is now up to our leadership in countries to get ahead of the curve as to where the world will be. Not it's going, not being considered, it is actually going. And so even when we begin to look at every industry in the Bahamas, if we begin to look at all of the assets of the Bahamas has assets in the trillions of dollars. Okay, I hear the government saying they're going to start to try to find out where our natural assets is. I think it called me, I could give them 102 that I've documented so far, each in the billions of dollar value. And so this is not the talking heads type environment. This is the actual physical assets where we can begin to digitize and tokenize our very existence, that be able to authenticate it across a public ledger and have others authenticate, where you don't have to say, I have this much aragonite, I have this much carbon credits, I have this much sunlight. And believe it or not, the sunlight, airspace, water space, all of these different things are assets that can be backed, that can act as backers of various different tokens. And so the opportunity is there if we look beyond the cryptocurrency, or forget it, like Lester said, if we look beyond the Bitcoin aspect of where we are and look from extracting the wealth from the so-called quick money, easy money. Because if you look at Ethereum now, it's for processing of information. And so there is opportunities, unlimited. This is like how you say the United States, remember they say, go west, my son? Say, go digital. Go digital, my son.
I wanna read a comment from Siobhan. Siobhan says, as a Bahamian who studied and wrote a digital program abroad, trained in business, blockchain, and fintech technology, are we ready for Bahamians who are skilled and ready to bring the knowledge back home? Perhaps not.
No, and she's correct. And this is the argument I said, because what happens is the individuals who we have given the 5-year celebrities will have a problem with her being the competent authority in the room when they are the elected official. The problem is we have inverted the pyramid where the employees begin to believe that they are now superior to the employers. And so what happens is, I think when we begin to get leadership that understand that the power is the people, the power lies from and is the people, and the collective intelligence is still greater than our selective intelligence, then we will have a great nation. And so the problem is that we keep selecting people. No, parties select people, giving us a limited option of choices, that then we then have to settle for these individuals who's looking at this is my time now, rather than this is a time for us to share. But I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful that if this administrative falls down, that we won't necessarily have to wait 5 years. And I know for sure that I'm going to be an active participant to make sure that the next administration understands the problem that she has and others have, and actually look towards building a new and better Bahamas for and by Bahamians.
Yeah, Michelle, if I can just add something to what C. Allen has said. What's interesting about the Caribbean is every major competitor to the Bahamas, we launch. So we launched Cayman, we launched Bermuda through our mistakes. Cayman right now, the per capita income in Cayman is over $90,000 a year. And they're pointing to us how we could be doing financial services. And one of the things they're doing in Cayman, they've got a city in Cayman. They've got a fairly autonomous city in Cayman. And I tell you something, Bahamians are some of the most talented people in the world. You see it in baseball, you see it in basketball, you see it in track and field, you see it in academics. We are so talented, but the structure of our society limits that talent. And we've got to figure out how to get the talented among us doing things without having to ask people in government. This is very important. You see, we've got some of the wealthiest people in the world living in our country. We've got them in Albany, we've got them in Old Fort, we got them in Laifiki, we got them in Ocean Estates, we got them in Soma. But the thing is, these people don't get a chance to interact with smart, upperly mobile Bahamians because we have not created the spaces for that to happen. And we need to do that because we've got everything we need right here, right now.
And this is where my belief in Grand Bahama comes in. And so what happens is we have the landmass, we have the infrastructure, we have the ability to build, we have the harbor, and we have the airspace. Everything, the perfect environment for if somebody wanted to make a city pop up from a volcano and eruption with the perfect environment, you couldn't match Grand Bahama. And so,
wow.
And so
that's a serious statement, Lester.
I'm telling you.
No,
but I mean, why not? Why aren't we building an offshore city in Grand Bahama? It's just unbelievable. Why not?
But yes, Lester, here's the point. I'm not talking about Grand Bahama. Remember now, the city of Freeport on the island of Grand Bahama is only 30 square miles smaller than Singapore, and Singapore could fit in Grand Bahama about 3 or 4 times. But we're always talking about Singapore. So I'm simply saying is that we talk about potential. We have the infrastructure, we have the deep water harbor, we have the shipping lanes, we have the airspace. We sit geopolitically off one of the largest, most successful economies in the world. We just lack leadership.
Well, I tell you what, I hope that there comes out of this and every other discussion like it, the will to do what we all collectively need to do to move forward. Because one thing we have learned from this crash of cryptocurrencies is that there is a real human cost involved.
With 4 simple words that have been whispered by the intrepid since the time of the Romans: fortune favors the brave.
Matt Damon is far from alone in helping catapult crypto into the mainstream. A whole host of celebrities and sports stars have been paid to jump on the crypto spruiking bandwagon.
Like I was saying, it's FTX. It's a safe and easy way to get into crypto.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Celebrities aren't to blame for the crypto crash, but David Gerard sees their gushing endorsements as legitimising an industry that he says is full of market manipulation, scammers and crooks.
We have to think about the real victims, the mums and dads the grannies who think their retirement should go into crypto, the people who bought in just the last 6 months, they're basically going to be stuck with magic beans and they're trying to work out how to offload them. They lost their money when they bought them. A lot of them are just going to have to take the hit, and it's not going to be nice.
Have you heard many stories like that of people who thought they'd load up in the last year or so and all of a sudden have realised they've lost the entire investment?
There have been wall-to-wall stories like that in the last couple of weeks. There's real human cost here, and that's the ordinary people who get scammed. That has to be the moral core of the discussion about cryptocurrency.
The catch cry in crypto is that you only lose when you sell. So far from panic when it all started to go pear-shaped last month, entrepreneur Alex Waters thought he could turn it to his advantage.
When did you first realise the market was crashing?
I was watching the market every day, around that time, and I saw it starting to dip.
So you're watching this in real time, effectively, just going, oh, it's there, oh no.
Yeah.
What's going on in your head and your heart at that point?
I thought to myself that this was an epic opportunity.
Alex had money in the two cryptocurrencies that crashed hardest. Taking a punt on them bouncing back, he piled in even more. But the classic investment strategy of buying in the dip proved to be a disaster.
Everyone was just pulling their money out. That went from $100 a coin down to percentages of a cent right now. So $150,000 is worth about $15, maybe less right now.
So you've lost 150 grand in one hit?
Correct. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
There was definitely a moment, I would say a 24-hour period where I was like, damn, what have I done? But I just realized that mindset doesn't actually help me at all. And there are so many people out there with way more money than me, so much smarter than me, that also lost a lot more money than me in this crash. And so I have no choice but to accept that loss.
Alex may have been burned, but he can't wait to head back into the furnace with an unshakable belief that the bust will become boom once more.
Since the crash, have you pumped more cash in and bought more crypto?
I've got money sitting in my exchange ready to buy some Bitcoin, yeah. I haven't bought any yet. Thought I'd take a week off, just let the dust cool, and but I'll buy some more Bitcoin in the coming weeks for sure.
So you've got no doubt then that this is just a blip on the radar?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think there are so many people that say this is effectively a house of cards, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi?
I think it's the same with any kind of new technology or new advancement in society. We tend to reject what we don't understand. And people want to hate on something before they accept it and join it, right?
So you think they'll all come around eventually?
I think so. Well, I hope so, because that'll make a big difference to my portfolio.
For crypto king Sergey Sergenko, the stakes are far higher, but he sees losing $600 million as just part of the game of risk and reward.
I mean, there's a lot of what-ifs, and this is difficult. But, it's like I said, tomorrow is a new day. The sun is still going to rise up. And, a lot of people on this planet have it a lot worse than myself, for example.
In this wild digital frontier, there's one thing that keeps investors coming back for more, and it's the very thing that cryptocurrency will need to bounce back. Confidence. Crash or no crash, it's something Sergey has in spades.
If you or anyone watching lost a lot of money on it, guys, don't stress, tomorrow is a new day. And whatever comes down always goes up.
Any temptation to quit the game now?
No, mate. It's only getting started. If it was easy, anyone would do it. But there is a saying, if you can't handle my lows, you don't deserve my highs. And, it's like I believe in that saying.
Yeah, I thought that last quote was powerful. Speaking of a powerful quote, Warren Buffett has said, and by the way, he doesn't support crypto, but Warren Buffett has said that it is wise for investors to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So, with that in mind, is this crash really a disguised opportunity? What are your thoughts, gentlemen? We have 4 minutes left in the show, so don't go past a minute each because I want to give you both a minute to give us your final thoughts. So, what are your thoughts? It's
Well,
just an
Michelle,
opportunity in
first of all, I
disguise.
want to commend you for a great conversation. You structured a very nice talk, a complicated topic.
Thank you.
The market is going to go down. The equity market is going to go down. I think you could see more of a crash. So will crypto. And you need to find the bottom of it. And once you find the bottom of it, you should buy because what goes down comes up, and what comes up goes down. So you know that's going to happen. I'm excited about crypto. I'm excited about the blockchain, and I encourage people to step in, but only step in with money you can lose.
I don't think crypto.com is going to hire you to do their their PR with that line, Lester. But I get the point. See, Alan?
I believe this is an opportunity. I believe, I believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum and others, the smaller, more stable, reasonable, that brings you utility class. I believe that Bitcoin can bring utility class like Ethereum can. But the other 9,997 coins, I think will all fall away. It'll be good that they declare the dust. But this is an opportunity for us to rethink not cryptocurrency, but rethink the opportunity that the blockchain and tokenization and data offers us. And I think that it's an opportunity for individuals that never had an opportunity, that never had assets, that simply can actually digitize an idea and by a means now can provide a public utility to give people access to raise capital to do what is necessary for their integration, not just into the human economy, but in the global economy. And I know for going forward over the next, beginning this week, and I'm sure I'm going to make some more appearances on you, I think we have to talk about when this bottoms out, how do we build forward? And I think this is a great opportunity for us as behemoths. We are small in demographics, 108,000, 110,000 families, 250,000 adults, that we can, from 10% of us, 25,000 of us, can leave multimillionaires in this forum digitizing what we come to live and love the Bahamas.
Great idea. I thought I was going to have more time, but clearly that has to be your final thoughts on the show because we only got a minute left. I want to end with a comment from a Facebook viewer. Sorry, it says Bahamians have to learn to unify for the greater good of all, but everyone wants to be boss. Everyone wants credit and accolades. No one just wants to be a component in the clock. Another issue is when profit starts to be made, the less people they think about, it becomes about them. Greed, short-lived. Well, we have to change that. And I agree with these gentlemen that even though I have not dipped my toe into the crypto world really as yet.
Stay in the shallow.
Yeah, but I do believe that adversity is truly opportunity in disguise. And like Buffett said, when people get fearful, that's the time to be greedy. Because I do believe that even if Bitcoin doesn't rebound, I believe that cryptocurrency in general will. And I mean, let's face it, this is all of the markets are crashing, not just crypto. So we know that's going to come back up eventually. Time's gone, folks. It's 4:00. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. I really do appreciate you both very, very much. That is my time. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow is Friday. You know what that means. Open line show where you, my audience, are my co-host, and we're going to talk about the week that was. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a good one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on